into the CMD pranks. So in order to actually access CMD, we're going to hit Windows and R together, type CMD, and then hit Enter. Now, as you can see, we have the magical black box right on our screen. But now that we have command prompt up, I'm going to show you how to navigate it a little bit, and I'm going to give you a little bit of insight if you're new to the whole command prompt thing. If you're just used to accessing your computer by all this down here, clicking on buttons, and it being really easy for you to do anything, and you're new to command prompt, this might be a little bit of some good advice, so listen up. Now, behind the command prompt window, we actually have, what do you see here? A bunch of folders, right? But another name for folders is actually directories. These are directories where you can store information. And as you can see in command prompt, this is the directory that we're currently in. It's in our C drive. It's C users Virax, that's my name.
Really?
But folders being called directories is our first command that we're actually going to be learning about, and that is dir. If you type dir, which is short for directory, and hit enter, it'll show you all the directories in the folder that you're currently located in. Now, in order to get some more perspective on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type cd for change directory, and then I'm going to type desktop. I guess my desktop is in a folder called OneDrive, so I'm actually going to type cd OneDrive, and then I'm going to type cd desktop. Okay, so now we're actually in the desktop, as you can see right here. Let me just type CLS to clear out everything. But now you're going to notice something really familiar now that we're on our desktop or in our desktop directory, right? If I type dir, what do you see? You see all the folders that I have right here. So congratulations, this is your first step into becoming a little computer prankster. You now know how to navigate command prompt. You could use cd to change the directory you're in, dir to see all the subdirectories, and if you want to back out of a directory, all you have to do is type cd ... and you go back to OneDrive. So, now that we know how to use command prompt, let's get into the real juicy meat and potatoes of this video. Okay, let's look at some pranks. Okay, so the first CMD prank that I want to talk about is going to be the remote shutdown dialogue, as seen in this video before. Now, a little bit of history about the remote shutdown dialogue, or a little bit of remote shutdown lore, I guess you could call it. So, the main purpose of the remote shutdown dialogue is if somebody is a system admin somewhere, if somebody just works in a giant building and they need to admin these computers, right? And they don't want to walk all the way across the building, right? If you work in a skyscraper, you don't want to go down 300 floors just to, turn off a computer. So that's where remote shutdown comes in. Now you can see in our command prompt here, all we gotta do is type shutdown and then tack I. And once we hit enter, the remote shutdown dialog comes up. So here we have our computers listed where we can add our computer's host name or their IP address, right? And this is gonna be their local IP addresses. For those of you that don't know, there's a couple types of IP addresses, one of them being the public and one of them being the private. Private, also known as local IP addresses, are ones connected to your router. That's so the router can tell which device is actually accessing the internet. And now, let's say you wanna shut down a computer, but you don't know the local IP address of that computer. I'm gonna show you a little trick that you can find all the local IPs on the entire network, basically, of the network that you're connected to. So let's get out of this for a second, and let's enter in a new command. The new command is going to be ARP-TAC-A. And as you can see, once you hit enter, you get all of the IP addresses that are connected to your network. This would be useful because check this out, right? So we go back into shutdown-I, we go back into the remote shutdown dialog, and then this is how we add a computer. So we would need to add one of these IP addresses depending on which computer's IP it is. And now you could just be a menace, right? You could just start entering an IP, right? You could be a menace, you could just start shutting down all of these, but don't do that, right? And as the transition card stated before, don't do this in school. Okay, hey, I know it's tempting, but don't do it. Admin privileges are a thing for a reason. And yeah, that's basically the remote shutdown prank, if you want to call it that. So you could make the computers do a variety of things here. You can annotate an unexpected shutdown, which means you could put a message before it. You can make a message pop up on the why it's shutting down. Or if you want to annotate an unexpected shutdown, you could do that and then the computer will just turn off. But as you can see, there's an event tracker, so this shouldn't be used as a prank, It's got hardware maintenance or installations, OS recovery. All these are planned, selected things that system admins will shut down computers remotely for. So let's get on to the next CMD prank. Now the last CMD prank that we're going to be talking about today, right? It's going to be the MSG star command that we saw in this short that I made. Now, a lot of people seem to be confused about this command, right? You see, the thing about it is, right, if I enter MSG star right now and then just some random message, right, and I hit enter, it says MSG is not recognized as an internal or external command. Well, what are you saying, Veracity? Did you just lie to me? Did you just lie to me? Did you? No, I didn't lie to you. Okay, so basically what the problem is here is this is not the Windows 10 Pro version of Windows, right? This is I think Windows 10 just like home or something. But I do have a Windows 10 Pro computer that I will show you, right? This command only ships with Windows 10 Pro devices. So if you're getting this message on your screen, this is because your device isn't a Windows 10 Pro device. Get Pro, loser. No, I'm just kidding. I honestly don't really know what the difference between Pro and normal is. I don't use these commands on a daily basis, but hey. So just to show you guys something real quick, I have a different computer loaded up right now, and this one is actually a Windows 10 Pro device. So if I type MSG star and then balls or whatever in this little command prompt here, and I hit enter, it's actually going to send the message to every single computer on my network. See, look, the message popped up right there, message from admin. So to go over this command,